Okay. Thanks, guys, for hopping on. Tonight, me and Car, which she couldn't make it on tonight, she had a prior commitment, but we really wanted to talk about kind of like that switch that you kind of need to make in your business when you choose that this is going to actually be a business for yourself. And kind of that mentality switch that we made too. For me at least, it was probably a good year into my Beachbody business, from coach to CEO or business owner. And so I'm going to talk all about that and really just the mindset shift that we need to make and kind of the difference in how the thinking wise as far as the two different hats. So they say when making that mindset shift. So the reason why I think this topic is so important is because when we signed up to be a Beachbody coach, obviously we have a reason for signing up. And just as we choose every day to continue in our fitness, we have to continue to choose coaching in some sense. It's coaching definitely didn't come natural for me. It's something that still to this day, 3 years in, I'm learning every single day. I'm learning from new people that join me and, obviously super successful coaches, but it's a never ending learning process, as anything should be. And so you kind of have to choose coaching when you wake up every single day, just as if we choose to continue in our fitness journeys. So switching from just having that mentality almost as like an employee to now being like the full-on CEO of your life and your business is something that you really need to decide to do and should work on. And so this is mainly focused on personal development. And this is why obviously we preach it a lot. We're, starting to do the giveaways with the PD books just because I know I've said this before. I never took Sam serious when she was like, oh, you need to read PD every single day. And, probably part of that was because I know she'll admit too, she wasn't doing that in her early days of her business. And I kind of heard it over and over again. And you guys heard me say that I had like a list long and would never actually pull from it. But so I never made that a huge priority in my business until probably like the past year. And the reason why every single successful coach says that like personal development was a major shift in their business is because of that mentality, that mental shift that we need to take as coaches and really just as people that are trying to grow, to switch into that CEO hat. So we need to throw away the employee mentality. When we work, whether it's a job that you work for currently or a job that you had in the past, and you're an employee, sometimes that can have negative mindset that comes along with it, because you're working for someone. When they call you in to talk, it's usually not a good thing. And, or, it's just you always have that person telling you what to do, when to do it, how to do it. And that's how we grew up. That's what the norm was. I never even knew. And guys, my mom was and still is a successful Mary Kay businesswoman. So my mom has been in network marketing literally my entire life. She started that business so she could stay home with me and my brother when we were little, and was and is extremely successful in it. But I never even knew what network marketing was. I knew my mom worked from home. I knew my mom sold makeup, but I didn't actually know what she did. I still always had that mentality that, they pretty much teach you in school that, you graduate, you go to college and you get a job and you go to work for 40 years and that's just what it is. And you work for somebody else and you work to move up the ladder and, blah, blah, blah. And I think nowadays we hear a lot more about entrepreneurs, which I think is amazing. And I think that our generations can really change, that, with the further generations. So now I feel like they're starting to actually talk about it. But growing up, we just think, I'm going to be an employee for someone. You know, maybe I'll get to that level where I then lead people, but you're always going to have that boss. You're always going to have that person that's going to tell you exactly what to do when you go into work every single day. So we need to now throw away that employee mentality, because when you sign up to be Beachbody coach, whether I'm your upline coach or whoever your upline coach is, you know, we're your mentor, but in no way, shape, or form should you be somebody's boss. And that, you know, that's another topic as far as leading your team, as far as like micromanaging. But, you know, we're not each other's bosses. Just because someone signs up underneath us does not, you know, that's the cool thing about this company model, is that it doesn't mean they can't be as successful as I am, or so on and so forth, or whatever. So you will never hear, you know, good coaches in this business telling their coaches what to do. So let's throw away that employee mentality, because, you know, we're all a team. But what you guys need to either write down and really change that mind shift of being the CEO of your own life and your own business that happens to be a Beachbody coach. Beachbody, you know, think of Carl Deichler, the CEO. You know, he doesn't have people telling him in the morning when his feet hit the floor, like, you need to come up with new inventive ways to do things. He doesn't have someone saying, like, you need to figure out a way to get fitness bigger and out to more people and new programs and stuff. Like, he's thinking about that all on his own, because in his mind, this is his business, and if he's not going to do it, nobody's going to do it for him. There's no choice. There's no question about it. So that's that mentality that we need to switch in. So I almost want you guys to write down, you know, I want to be the CEO of my life and my biz that happens to be a Beachbody coach, because we should be branding ourselves. You know, I try so hard to brand myself, Ashley. I was just at the doctor's this morning, and she was like, what do you do? And I said, I'm a Beachbody coach. And I was proud to say that I was a Beachbody coach, but I don't brand that I'm a Beachbody coach. I brand Ashley Robustiano, and I help people, and I help change lives physically, financially, you know, and mentor people. So you want to constantly be branding yourself and your own brand. But you help people with Beachbody. Beachbody gives us that foundation. We use their products because we know they work. And so we're the CEO of our own lives and our business, but we also happen to be Beachbody coaches. So we're throwing away that employee mentality. We're throwing away that I need someone to tell me what to do today in my business. I need somebody to tell me who to invite and who to write down and who to follow up with, okay? Because guys, we know, you know, and I get it. If you're a brand new coach, you know, it takes time to learn. Like I said, I'm learning things every single day. But, you know, even a month into this business, you know what you should be doing. We know how to hit diamond. We know how to hit star diamond. We know how to hit success club. It's just at the end of the day, we need to have that CEO mindset that it's like, we're going to do it no matter what, because I know how to do it. And if I don't do it, nobody's going to do it for me. Rather than that employee mentality of, well, Ashley didn't give me set tasks today on how I can hit Success Club. Do you see the difference? So that is a huge shift. And that's where personal development will come in. And that's why it's so important. And if you guys really aren't implementing it, like, please try and implement it. If you're like, I don't know what book to start with, ask your upline coach, message myself, message Carly, because like, I feel like I shied away with it because more of the fact that I'm just really not a reader. And you can call that an excuse or whatever, but that's why I use Audible, because I listen to my PD and it just works for me. I can do it in the shower. I can do it when I'm folding laundry. I listen to it a lot of times in the car when I'm dropping Aiden off, you know, to and from school. So you can make it fit into your life, whether you're a reader or not. But it really can make a huge impact on your business and just as your personal growth as well. But so there's this difference between these two hats, right? Kind of what we've been talking about. And it's just like CEOs handle everything so differently than an employee mindset does. And so employees, live in this little box, right? Just like I was saying, they're told what to do, when to do it, how to do it, what not to do, reprimanded when they do something wrong, and entrepreneurs are all out here. They're all outside of the box. This is where we need to be, because this is where we're free to use our creativity, our own things that make us us and our things that make up us and are interesting, because that's what other people want to see. That's what other people, that's why they choose to join you rather than the other 500,000 Beachbody coaches out there. We don't want to just be that Beachbody coach employee that like every other 500,000 coaches that are just posting about their shakes and posting about their workouts. We need to get vulnerable and share our stories and get people drawn into ourselves emotionally. And I know that can be really scary for some people, but it's like, we kind of got to get over that. Otherwise, we're going to be left in the dust. And that's just the truth. We need to be vulnerable to opening up to people through our posts and through messages and in our challenge groups, so that these people are drawn to us emotionally and want to stick around with us. So as entrepreneurs, as CEOs, we need to look at challenges and handle them much differently than an employee would. Okay, an employee, for an example, let's use fear as a challenge. So as a Beachbody coach, we're going to just use that as a coach mindset, just a Beachbody coach employee mindset. If you knew that you had to, say, invite 10 people to the coaching opportunity today, and, life happens, guys. I totally get it. And I maybe have not had like super shattering things happen to me at this point in my life. But, when I first started this business, I understand hardships. My husband had just taken a new job. He was in an academy. He was then shipped away to work 2.5 hours, was living there. So he was gone. We had a new baby, for almost 8 months out of my son's first year. And I was by myself. I was a single mom with a house. And, so I know there's so many other hardships that happen. There's always going to be things that happen. But as coaches, if we have things that we know we have to get done that day, we're going to use that mindset where maybe we'll do it or we won't do it at all, because we're going to let all of those stories get in our way. Whereas a CEO, if you have that CEO mindset, it does not matter what's happening in your life. It does not matter, there's always going to be deaths in the family. There's always going to be parties and setbacks and sickness and, all of that. But as a CEO mindset, it doesn't matter. You're going to get what you need to get done that day, because nobody else is going to do it for you. So that's the big difference. And that, I feel like, is the big difference of why some coaches, think about it. There's 500,000 Beachbody coaches, but there's probably, now I know elite doesn't, make you successful in this business, but let's just use elite coaches as an example. I think there were maybe 300 elite coaches for 2016. Okay. So think about 300 elite coaches, the 0.01% of top of this business out of 500,000 coaches. Why is everyone, this is an incredible opportunity. This is an amazing company. We all love these products. We all use these products. Otherwise, we would not think about them 24/7. We wouldn't think about how we can help people 24/7. But why are we all not successful then? And that is where those two hats come in. We have people that are waiting for people to tell us what to do. And if someone isn't telling us what to do, we're letting those stories get in the way, and we maybe will do it or we won't do it at all as just a coach mindset. Whereas there's those people that obviously are moving up and seeing success and hitting goals, and not every goal, but they're moving themselves forward, and they're using that CEO hat mindset. And it's like, no matter what is happening, I'm going to get it done because nobody else will do it for me. And so those are the two different mindsets that we need to use. And that was just with fear. For example, you know, some of us, I used to clam up all the time. I could invite to a challenge group in my sleep. I could go through that conversation in my sleep right now. But when it came to inviting someone to a coaching opportunity to join my team, I would clamp up. And I'm like, oh, I'm not going to do that because that's really scary to me. And I have to actually talk about what I do and be confident about what I'm doing and talking about what I'm doing. And so I wouldn't do it. And I'm just being honest with you guys. I wouldn't do it. And, and then I would sit back and be like, why is my business not moving? Why am I not, getting people that want to work their business? Why am I being so mentally affected, emotionally affected when one of my coaches who was doing so well dropped off the face of the earth and doesn't talk to me anymore? You know what I mean? I was so emotionally affected because I didn't have that many, because I wasn't doing what I needed to do. So we need to switch into that. No matter what, I'm going to get it done because I'm the CEO of my life and my business, and nobody else is going to do it for me. And so, like I was saying before, success equals personal growth. And any successful person will tell you that. And if we don't believe we can do it, why would anyone else join us and believe that they can do it too? We need to pave that path for our downlines and for our downlines, and for the people that are peeping our posts and maybe stalking us on social media right now, that are like, I kind of want to join her, but I don't really know if I believe her 100%. You need to, whether you signed up yesterday, you need to have that confidence and talk like you're a top 10 coach, like you're killing it in this business. Nobody needs to know where you're at. Nobody needs to know how much money you make. Nobody cares about that. It's nobody's business. You need to just own what you're doing right now and what you believe in and be confident about that. And then obviously other people will want to join you too. So how can we kind of make this shift? And then I'm going to give you guys some tips just quickly, and then we can take any questions. And I know we started late, so we'll kind of end a little bit early. But what we need to do when we wake up in the morning as CEOs is we need to say to ourselves, how can I serve people every single day? How can I wake up and serve people today? As Beachbody coaches, I think a lot of the times we get stuck in this I, me mentality. I got my workout done today. I drank my shake today. I did this today. Whereas we need to think about, how can we help our coaches do that stuff? How can we help our challengers succeed doing that stuff as well? So how can when I wake up in the morning, how can I serve people today? We need to have that serving mentality. But we also need to be open to being mentored and be flexible. I think that's why it's good that we do, like the last week, how we did the peep my page, and we looked at some coaches. I think that was just the Emerald and Above call, but coaches' social media pages, or that's why sometimes if your coach messages you and says ooh, I think you should take that post down and maybe tweak it a little bit, and or that was great, but next time why don't you try this? That's not oh my God, Ashley hates my guts. She hates my post. She thinks I'm bad at this. She doesn't think I can do this. That's not what that is. We need to be open to being mentored. And I'm the same way. I ask for advice all the time. I ask, I send it to Carly. I send it to Sam. Hey guys, what do you think of this? And I'm open to people critiquing what I'm putting out there, because, us coaches who have been coaching for a little bit, we've been through that. So I just came up on my third, it was around this time, April, this past month, it was my 3rd year coaching anniversary. So, we have that look back on Facebook. So I was seeing all of my first posts that I was posting as a new coach. And I'm just sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, I just wish someone would have messaged me and be like, stop posting so many Pinterest stock pictures. Oh my gosh. So I've made those I don't want to call them mistakes, but I've done that stuff. And, you know, coaches above us have done that stuff. So it's not like to be tearing you down. It's to say like, hey, instead of you making that, you know, choice in your business, like here's a different way to do it. Here's, you know, what I would do. And here's the difference that I saw. So we need to be, sorry guys. My kids get me sick all the time. So we need to be flexible and learning constantly and being mentored by people and not take things by offense when people are offering opinions, and always be asking for opinions throughout our posts and, you know, things that we're doing and new ideas and stuff, because it's only to help each other, because we are all, whether you guys know this or whether you want to admit it, but we are all attached to each other in this business. This is a spider web of a model, and we all help each other, okay? So, like, if Cassie does great, Jess does great. If Jess does great, Jackie does great. I do great. Carly does great. Sam does great. See what I'm saying? Like, every single person, we are all attached to each other. We all help each other out. And literally every single person is attached somehow throughout this business, throughout this spider web that we're in. So we need to be helping each other. And that's why I think it's great that we share everything, because it's like, why would you hold something in if it's working for you? So always be willing to be mentored and be flexible throughout all of that. So I'm going to give you guys just 5 skills that I believe that we should master when you're switching. So think of those 2 hats, a coach, employee, and a CEO of your own business and life. When you're trying to switch that mindset and things that I think, oh my God. Welcome to the comedy hour. My God. I'm like sweating. It's probably a fever or something. Okay, so 5 skills that thanks, guys. Okay, not to be off topic. Apple cider vinegar. Does it have to be that special kind, or can it just be like regular apple cider vinegar?
No, it has to be apple cider vinegar with the mother, and you'll see the floating.
The Bragg's kind, whatever it is.
Yes, Bragg's for sure. And just take a shot of it. But don't try and take apple cider vinegar that you try and attract fruit flies with.
Yeah, that's what I have. Okay.
Well, Ash, when I was really sick, I only had the regular apple cider vinegar when I was away and I got so sick. And I did 3 shots of that a day, and that's what helped me get rid of it.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And it burns so bad, but my nose cleared up right away.
Yeah.
That would be the worst.
Oh, yeah, it was okay.
Do it, like as a tea with like honey and lemon, and I'm like, I really need to get some of that.
So what I do is I just, again, totally off topic, I take a shot of the apple cider vinegar and put it in hot water with a tablespoon of honey, a teaspoon of cinnamon, and if you need it to be a little sweeter, you can add a little vanilla.
Okay. I'm going to try that. Because it's ridiculous, but okay. Back to this. So 5 skills as CEOs of our business that I think we really need to master. Number 1 is social media. So we need to, no matter what, as CEOs, whether you feel like you are technology challenged or, you know, you're really great at Facebook, but Instagram's just really not your thing. You know, it's 2017. We need to, no matter what our thing is or what makes us comfortable as far as social media, we need to always be learning and expanding the new things that are coming out. And, you know, realistically, like every 6 months, we should be evaluating our social media because things are changing so often. Like now we have this live video feature, right? That's been around, but now it's everywhere. And it's like, I know I'm the worst at this. I don't take advantage of that enough. Like I've watched calls where people are like, you should be going live at least once a day on your Facebook page. And to me, like that's really scary because I'm like, what the heck do people want to hear me talk about? I always talk for like 20 minutes. But whether it's like a little like piece of your workout, or just maybe like when you're making your lunch or whatever, or even just like if you got a new lipstick, like it should just be things that people can relate to you. We need to be growing with the newest things that are coming out. So we need to be mastering our social media and using all of our resources with that. Number 2, we need to master finding people and connecting with them. And this is huge because we talk about all the time, oh, you need to find your people throughout your 5 and you need to form them, and then you'll find that time to invite them. And this part I think can be really easily overlooked. I think a lot of the times we can just click that friend request button over and over and over again. But if we're not actually like taking the time to find, yes, babe.
I found these guys while I want that back down there.
Okay, hold on, babe. Mommy's on a call, and then I'll come help you, okay?
When you're not call to go bring that toy back down there, please.
Yep, I'm almost done, okay, babe? But if we're just adding people and not actually then going back to like see who actually accepted our friend request and messaging them and trying to connect with them on a level, an emotional level, and just being a nice human being, taking the time to just like scan their profile and see something that you connect with them on and shooting them a message and just giving them a compliment, you're not actually connecting with anybody. Friend requesting people all day is not actually connecting with any single person. And as far as finding people, we need to take that time to, and this is where Instagram is great because we can search through hashtags that really relate to ourselves, is finding people that are like you. You guys will notice the coaches that stick with you and that are like your people in this business are because they're very much like you. You have similar characteristics. You like the same stuff. You might talk the same way. Like, those are the people you want because you want to be able to, connect with these people on a different level that's not as their boss, because we're not people's bosses. And so we need to be able to find people and connect with them, and we need to master that and connect with them on an emotional level other than fitness, because then bringing to that third skill, inviting and following up, we're inviting these people to our world. We're asking them to join us in something that is so special to us and this mission that we're on, and we're asking them to see that when realistically, guys, people have heard of Beachbody, but there's still a lot of people out there that have no idea what Beachbody is or what it means or what coaching means or any of that stuff. They probably have this preconceived notion of what coaching is or what Beachbody is or what Shakeology is. But if we can't find that connection on something else, then, when we're inviting them into this world, why would they answer us back? Why would they want to join? Because they have no idea what it means. So we need to master that inviting step, which I think a lot of people get nervous about. But it's like, if you're mastering those other things, you've mastered your social media, you're posting to your people, your posts are, you're taking the time to see like, okay, I posted this at this time, it did okay, but when I posted something similar at this other time, it did great. You're taking the time to kind of evaluate that and be like, okay, I need to now post these type of posts at this time. And then when you're finding these people and you're connecting with them, guys, if you've already connected with someone on an emotional level, it's so much easier to just be like, hey, by the way, like, I feel like we just kind of have been chatting and whatever, and I feel like you're such my people. Like, have you ever thought of doing what I do? Like, it's so much easier to say that, or be like, hey, girl, I have this fitness group going on right now, and I just feel like since we've been chatting, it would just be so fun if you joined. Like, do you at all have any fitness goals? Like, it's so much easier to say those things to people that you already have this like built relationship with. And this doesn't mean that you need to have been talking to them for months. I will connect and invite in the same day sometimes. You'll know right away when you're talking to people, if they're your people and you send them a compliment, if they send you back something where they're like, that was so nice, like, thank you so much, you're like, okay, she actually like wrote me back like a sentence or more than a sentence, like, she's my girl, we can keep talking. But you guys know those people that when you send something and they're just thanks, they're not your people, move on. Okay, because they don't, you don't waste your time with that, because they're just going to give you those one word things, because realistically they're just like, I'm going to answer you for a little bit until I ignore you next time because I'm sick of you messaging me, basically. So mastering, inviting, and following up. Number 4 is giving an amazing experience. And this is through your messages, through your posts on your social media, and through our challenge groups. So coaches might host a group every single month, and it might just be going through the motions. But CEOs of their businesses, when they host those groups, they might still be kind of going through that motion, but they know, like, okay, this group is a little bit different. I'm going to give it a little bit of a flair. I'm going to do something a little bit different and see how this works. If my interaction stops on day 3, to me, that means I need to switch it up. I need to change up my posts. I need to ask people to post emojis. Now we ask people to post in only emojis of what they do as a job. It's like, switch things up a little bit. Don't just keep posting the same things and continue to not get participation, and then wonder at the end of the group why you didn't see anyone post the results, or nobody wanted to join you as a coach on your team. Or continue into a new group. Like, that's where those 2 hats come in, where you need to say, okay, I need to step in, I need to take control, and I need to make this group successful. I need to make the participation higher, because we know challenge groups are the bread and butter of our business. So an amazing experience throughout everything. Posts, messages, groups, everything. Give it your all and give it your time, because your business deserves it. And number 5 is mastering introducing the coaching opportunity. And this is, like I was saying before, something that I always shied away from and was just like, I'm not going to do it because it's uncomfortable and I don't like it. And then I kind of was like, why? Like, I actually had to like sit myself down and be like, why don't you like this? Why are you not inviting people to this when you can literally go through the challenge group invite in your sleep? And I had to think, like, what makes me so uncomfortable about it? And really, it was just like, I was uncomfortable about inviting people to a challenge group when I first started, but I got over it because I did it over and over and over again. And the same thing will happen with inviting people to coaching. We know that a way to build a team is a way to see financial success in this business. And just to build stability in your business. As you're growing, you don't want to wonder every single week, am I going to drop rank this week? Am I going to earn a paycheck that's going to cover my groceries this week? Am I going to, you know what I mean? Like, those feelings suck. Like, I had those feelings when I was a new coach and a new diamond. Like, I was always like frantically checking my downline, like, shit, I got to sign a coach this week or I'm going to drop back down to Emerald. And it's like, you don't want that in your business. You want that stability. So get comfortable introducing that coaching opportunity, because that's where all of that is going to come into. So those are my 5 skills that I think as CEOs of our business we really need to master. But hopefully we have like a little under 3 minutes left, so feel free to unmute yourself if you guys have any questions. But hopefully that was helpful as far as like kind of understanding, like, don't wait until there's a new training group. Don't wait until your upline coach is like messaging you saying, hey, how are your invites going? How many people did you invite today? Don't wait for that stuff. Like, take responsibility of your own business, because at the end of the day, you signed up for this to be a business. Like, we didn't sign up for this to, I mean, maybe you did. Maybe you signed up just for the discounts and you're completely content for that. But if you're taking the time to be on a team call, like, you signed up to work your business to make an impact on your life, whether that's huge or small. So it's like, don't wait for those little signs of people telling you what to do, because we know what to do and it's just a matter of implementing. Does anyone have any questions before we get kicked off in a little bit, or anything like that? I'm gonna check the chat.
I don't have questions. I just want to say that I completely agree with literally everything you just said, because you don't know where your upline is going. Not saying that any of us are going to quit, but depending on who your upline is, you don't know where their heart is. You don't know if they're going to quit in a year from now. So if you're just following their instruction, and then when they, you know, if they fall off track, where does that leave you in your business?
Absolutely. Yeah, guys, there's been successful like 2-star diamond and even above 5-star diamond earners that just quit. They get up and they quit one day. And it's like, right, why? But it's like some people might see the success, but they might not be in it. So I completely agree with that. You have to be your own. I mean, think of Lindsay Matway. She didn't have an upline coach, and she built this insanely successful business because she wanted to be her own CEO. Like, you don't need an upline coach. We're lucky that we have all this mentorship and leadership throughout our team and above and everything. We're so lucky to have that, but we don't need that necessarily. We need to think of that almost as extras and just kind of take responsibility and be like, okay, as my CEO, how can I change my life today with working my business? So hopefully you guys can make that switch if you haven't yet, and make sure you're reading or listening to personal development. It's honestly like the one thing that's going to help with that switch, and without it, it's probably not going to happen. We are going to get kicked off soon, but I just wanted to say our new coach training, we're in the process of editing all the videos, but we're going